Hello and a warm welcome. It's Friday the 19th of June going on to the early hours of Saturday morning, and of course it's day 9 of World Cup 2026. I'm Lee Anthony Davis and I'd like to welcome you to my World Cup 2026 YouTube channel. Right, coming up we've got World Cup final score, sports report, group tables, look at tomorrow's matches, the contenders section, the quiz questions section. Then comes goal of the day, followed by match of the day, and then we round off with news and weather. So let's start off with the World Cup final scores, starting with Group D. United States 2, Australia 0. Group C, Scotland 0, Morocco 1. And Brazil 3, Haiti 0. Right, now it's time for sports reports. The first of them will be Mexico versus South Korea. So we start with yesterday's match in Group A, where both teams were looking for their second win to secure a place in the last 32. With the host nation Mexico playing in front of a crowd of 45,000 at the Estadio Guadalajara Stadium, but it was Mexico who dominated the match, and in the 50th minute a collision with defender from the South Korean goalkeeper Kim Sung-gu left the Mexican midfielder Luis Romo an empty net to make it 1-0 to Mexico. In the 50th minute, South Korea had their moments, but their best chance came 3 minutes from time, where Chu Gu-sung close range header was saved by Raul Rangel, and so Mexico become the first team to qualify for the knockout stage of round 32. Congratulations to them. Right, moving on to our next report, it's USA against Australia. And so it's off to Group D now, with host nation America took the Wallabies at the Seattle Stadium this afternoon, and it was the US who dominated the first half, but it was within 11 minutes where the US pounced with a fantastic run from two-goal hero Florin, I'll say that again, Florin Balogun from the wide outside and crossed the ball in, causing the Australian defence to panic. An own goal from Cameron Burgess after the pressure from the American attackers, and Australia never recovered from here on in. And on the stroke of half time, the US made it 2-0 from the US defender Alex Freeman in the 43rd minute, and to kill off Australia's chances, and now they will join Mexico in the last 32. Congratulations to the United States. Right, moving on to the group tables, and to confirm that in Group A, Mexico have qualified for the last 32. They have played 2 games, they've won 2 games, drawn none, lost none, and they have a plus goal-free goal difference, plus 6 points, and with 1 game to go. South Korea are sitting second with also the same number of games played. They won 1, drawn 0, lost 1, and they have no goal difference, but they have 3 points. Meanwhile, Czech Republic are lying third. We've also played 2 games, 1-0, no wins, 1 draw, and they have lost, and they have a -1 deficit in goal difference, with only 1 point to show for it. And finally, South Africa sadly look like they're going home. Played 2, won none, drawn 1, lost 1, and a -2 goal deficit. So they only have 1 point, and it's very unlikely they could still do it if Mexico slip up, and so South Korea, or shall I say Czech Republic, beat South Korea. I'm sorry, if South Korea play South Africa. That's right, South Korea plays South Africa, the Czech Republic play Mexico. So it's all to play for, but it's unlikely that, in my opinion, South Africa will be going home, I'm afraid. I can't see them winning. So anyway, moving on to Group D, America also have qualified for the last 32, and they are probably 1 point away from to winning the group as well. They have 6 points. They've got 5 goal difference, 5 plus. They haven't lost any games. They've not drawn any, and they've won. They've got a 100% record. Their second, the nearest challenger is Australia, who they beat, and they only have 3 points, but they would have to score 6 goals, and America would have to lose, or they have to collapse catastrophically to actually take America over the top of the group. Meanwhile, Turkey and Paraguay are playing right now, so I'll give you an update on that later on. Right, so anyway, Group C, as you know, Brazil are off the mark. They beat Minor Haiti by 3-0, and sadly Scotland didn't take advantage of their chances when they were playing Morocco. They succumbed to a very quick goal by Sabari, a very talented player who had the ball kicked towards him in the goal area, and he controlled it with beauty with a nice precision shot at the corner of the net. Fantastic, but not for Scotland. But they're not out of it. They've still got a chance. Right, so the Group C table looks like this. With Brazil winning, they go top of the group. Morocco, as I said, were playing Paraguay, and Scotland are apparently sitting second. So it's not over for Scotland, but they've got to play Brazil. And we all know in past World Cups, Brazil have had the edge. And if they're playing like they did against Haiti, it's just down to the other 2 teams if Scotland can qualify. But I hope they can. I still believe they can do it. Anyway, that is the group tables. Now we're looking into tomorrow's matches. We look at Group E in Canada, Toronto Stadium. Germany take on Ivory Coast. Now, if they have taken 7 goals off Curacao, I'd hate to think how many goals Ivory Coast will concede with the kind of German precision that's been going on in that team in that first match. But Ivory Coast, I think, could hold their own. But they're playing live at 9 p.m. on ITV, so you'll be able to watch that on that channel. Right, moving on. BBC One playing later. You've got at 1 a.m. in the morning at Kansas City Stadium. You've got Ecuador against Curacao. Can they bounce back from a devastating defeat by Germany? It would be nice to see them score some goals. It's possible. Ecuador are not that strong team, and I think they can do something there. You can see that live on BBC One at 1 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. Right, also coming up, we've got Group F, the Dutch, the Masters of Europe, as they called them, the skillful Pele team. But they're not so good this time around, but they did win. No, they managed to draw, didn't they, with Japan. So they're not as good as they were when they had Ruud Gullit or Johan Cruyff, but they've still got a good team, and they could still mount a challenge for the World Cup. But they're playing Sweden, who are really the best team in that group at the moment. And you can see that match live on BBC One at 6 p.m. is played at the Houston Stadium, so watch out for that one. That's the big game. Now, in the other game on BBC One at 5 a.m, you can see Tunisia versus Japan in the same group, Group F, playing at Guadalupe Stadium. Right, so that's what's coming up tomorrow in matches. Right, let's move on to the contenders section. Right, so I've got a new leader here for the quickest goal scored in the World Cup 2026, but that will change after what's happened today. Michael Sadalak scored in the 5th minute for Czech Republic against South Africa. So he's the new leader of the quickest goal, Michael Sadalak of the Czech Republic. Right, the longest time to score in this year's World Cup still belongs to Marko Arnautovic, 102nd minute penalty for Austria against Jordan. Right, moving on to the top 6 Golden Boot contenders. We have some new players joining Lionel Messi on 3 goals. Lionel Messi, as you know, scored a hat-trick. In second place now, or shall I say joint first, along with 2 Canadian players, Carl Larin and Jonathan David, who was part of the Canadian team that won 6-0 against Qatar. He got the hat-trick, remember, and Carl Larin got another goal. So they're all on 3 goals. Coming second, leading with 2 others. There's basically a list of second place players who've scored 2 goals. So these players have now replaced them, but there's still a lot of players with 2 goals. So it's looking like a very good World Cup for Goal Feast. But I'll name those players. In second, Johan Mengembi of Switzerland with 2. Harry Kane, obviously, with 2 goals for England. And also Kylian Mbappe of France, who's also scored 2 goals. The genius of France, the brilliant striker. So anyway, that is the top 6 Golden Boot contenders. We'll have some more. I think there'll be a big change tomorrow, I can assure you. Right, now we move on to the top 3 teams to score the most goals. As you know, nothing has changed at the moment. We've got Germany on 7 goals. We've got Canada on 6 and Sweden on 5. So until something new happens, I'll just read them out quickly. Also, the goals that conceded will be the teams they played against, obviously. Curacao with 7, Qatar with 6, and Tunisia on 5. But that could all change. Right, here's that quiz question from yesterday, from my quiz question section. I asked a question, was the World Cup ever stolen? Was the World Cup ever stolen? True or false? The answer is true, surprisingly. It did happen. It happened in 1966 on the 20th of March on a Sunday. Apparently security guards noticed the old World Cup known as the Jules Rimet trophy was missing from the cabinet. How embarrassing that England, who was hosting it that year as well, it was before the World Cup started, but the Jules Rimet trophy was brought over to England as they were hosting it, but it got pinched apparently, and it was there was a big wide manhunt for it. You know, it's a big thing worldwide. The news was going out worldwide. For a week, it became the most famous trophy in history, and those that stole it decided to ditch it because there's no chance of melting it down or being discovered, you know, because there was no way you could get rid of that. So apparently one man and his dog called Pickles found it in a hedge, under a hedge in South London, in a brown paper parcel. And as they say, the rest is history. But how embarrassing for the country that hosted it has the World Cup pinched, because it would have been really embarrassing if the World Cup wasn't there, having a duplicate to present to the winners. But anyway, it was recovered, and guess what? England won it. The Jules Rimet trophy is no longer the trophy that's presented. It was replaced in 1970. So England has that unique position of being the last team to hold the Jules Rimet trophy. I'd say the Jules Rimet trophy is being held in the FA Association. They hold it in a cabinet, but it won't be easy to get in there and nick it, that's for sure. So anyway, that was my question, true or false, and obviously I gave you a descriptive answer to that question, so you understood there was a lot more to it than just saying true, you know. Anyway, we're coming to the final stage of this show, and I've got another quiz question for you. Who was the first ever player to score in a World Cup final? All of the World Cup finals, not just last time, from 1930. So it would have been 1930, all right? So there's a clue. The 1930 World Cup final. Who was the first ever player to score in the 1930 World Cup final? Because I mean, it wouldn't be right to say in the World Cup final. Which World Cup final, you ask? So it's the 1930 World Cup final, the very first World Cup final. Who scored? That's what I want to know. Right, okay then. Now it's time for my goal of the day, and sadly Scotland fans will hate me for this. My selection is Ismail Sabari for Morocco against Scotland. Sorry about that. It was a one-touch control and a precise finish that did it for me. So that's my choice. You might have your own choice. Right, moving on to match of the day, and my choice was Brazil against Haiti. Brazil showed their class eventually and now have arrived on the World Cup after a disappointing draw with Morocco. So that's my choice of match of the day. Right, now we're moving into the final stages, and here is the news. In sport, Ismail Sabari sinks Scotland for Morocco with one of the quickest goals in World Cup history at in the World Cup 2026, I do apologise, in 71 seconds, and now Brazil awaits Scotland. Oh dear. In other news, a driver dies and 11 passengers seriously injured in Bedford train crash as police declare major incident. And in weather, and finally we round off with the weather. Today will be dry with sunny spells which will be cloudy in the afternoon. Winds will be light and calm by tonight. Right, before I go, just to give you an update on the match that's playing in Group C at the moment. Paraguay are currently leading 1-0 against Turkey. Okay, that's it from me and my World Cup 2026 YouTube channel. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the same thing or some extra stuff added in. And don't forget, I always post on my community post board, so there's stuff on there. Have a look. You'll probably be surprised what I can post on there, but there are some polls on there as well, so don't miss that. So go over to my community post board where I posted something every day, so have a look at that. It's all right. It's not brilliant, but it gives you a bit of informative information with what's going on in groups, tables, results, who scored them. You know, it's all there, the details. So I do that every day, so look out for that. Don't forget, there'll be some more stuff going on there, like polls and some information about the World Cup. I'll be putting it on there. Not forgetting, just before I go, I'll be joined by a Wimbledon Championships 2026 with my World Cup 2026 YouTube channel. So anyway, that's coming up on Monday the 29th of June. So look out for that as well. So anyway, I've got to go. I want to finish off watching the match between Paraguay and Turkey. It's getting interesting, you could say. So anyway, that's it from me. Look after yourselves. This is Lee Anthony Davis saying thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.